Good evening. Well, it's January 6th. It's the beginning of a new year. It means a new edition of the Wolfeboro Exchange, and some festivities that just went on. You know, there was a fantastic fireworks show last week for the ringing in of the new year. One of the better fireworks shows I've actually seen in Wolfeboro in quite some time. Great performance. Town was busy all day. There was traffic downtown, people going to all the different events that were being offered. The town hall was packed for the animal show, and there was just a lot of people in town. It was very festive for the holidays. Not so much snow yet. I mean, but now we feel that January real cool down over the last couple of days. It's been bitterly cold outside with the wind chill. It looks like we're going to get a frozen Lake Winnipesaukee in the near future here. Wolfeboro Bay kind of glazed over with some ice about a week ago, but it opened back up like it usually does. But I think we're going to be in for a complete freeze over of the lake this year if the trends continue upon the way they are. It looks like it's shaping up to be a cold winter with some snow in the forecast potentially this weekend. There's a giant storm blowing through the Mid-Atlantic region. It's going to cause havoc in just south of us. It looks like could affect up to 120 million people. This storm that's blowing across the United States right now. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the weather patterns that are going on. Abenaki, the ski area, has got a good base of snow. The rink is open. Winter activities are in full supply, and there's plenty of things to do if you're in and around Wolfeboro and you're looking for stuff to do or you're looking for things for the kids to do. Plenty of things. Check out the Parks and Rec site, Wolfeboro Chamber site. So lots of things going on. It is a new year, and I encourage you to get out there and try some new things this year. I personally am going to. I've already kind of made a list. I made a list kind of starting in the fall. I started a completely new venture this January, so that was kind of my big hit. But I kind of start off every year. January for me is looks like dry January. So what I mean by dry January is no alcohol. It's actually a concept I started over in London and England about 10 years ago. The government weighed in and was like really kind of made it like a sport or a activity to encourage people to completely go dry, which means no alcohol in the month of January. And since that, last year, I believe 24% of alcohol-aged people that can drink alcohol legally in the United States went dry. It's actually, there's a huge impact on the entire alcohol industry during the month of January. And this concept of dry January really has kicked off and has made has become a pretty interesting thing in the United States, and all the health benefits that go with a month of abstinence from alcohol. I mean, obviously, no alcohol in general is better. The Surgeon General just came out last Friday and said, absolutely, any alcohol is poison, and no alcohol is the best route. But I temper that with the fact that I'm a realist. So try dry January. Some people do what's called a damp January. Less alcohol. I mean, you're healthier. You'll be more energy, better sleep. There's a whole cascade of effects that go along with that. But I challenge you to get out and do something different, whether it be an exercise program in the new year, a hobby you've always wanted to take on, a club you've always wanted to join. I'm actually going to be doing probably jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to hopefully this year tackle. I started taking flight lessons for helicopters about, I'd say it was almost a decade ago now. And I was really hot and heavy on it and loved it. And then it came to soloing and, just wasn't comfortable at that time. But I'm going to take that back up. My goal is to knock that bucket list item off in 2025. So get out there and do stuff. Try something new, whether it be cooking a new meal or a new sport, new activity, whatever. Just get out there and do something new in 2025. It's an exciting time. And with that, January in town stuff, got the frost heaves in downtown Wolfeboro. Those will get bigger and bigger and bigger. But January really ends the season of budget, but it kind of establishes what we're looking at going forward. We just went through a national election just a few short months ago, and now we're looking towards the March election, which are town government and town issues and warrant articles and proposed projects that will affect the budget here in Wolfeboro. It'll affect the tax rate and things like that. So get involved, start following on this. I'm going to hit a couple topics tonight that you don't normally hear about in the general, like when we talk about proposed projects and how we get to this point. But I'm going to talk to you about the capital improvement projects that are going to be slated in 2025, and these aren't all definite for the current warrant, but these are all potential projects that you may see move forward that may go to a warrant article, and then the voters will decide whether or not those get passed and whether they get funded or not in the 2025 year. So just to go over, there's a list of projects here. You can go on to the Town of Wolfeboro website and go to the CIP committee recommendations for 2025, and there's a whole list of projects. And that it's a really great. If you want to see like how the town plans out projects, it's a really good resource to see how they are able to not only plan out large projects, but plan out things like new vehicles for public works, and why do we get a fire truck in a certain year? Well, there's a schedule that's laid out that goes over decades, and it puts an item potentially called a vehicle in service, and then it shows its useful life, and then there's a designation at some point in that timeline for a replacement. So if you're interested to see how like the nuts and bolts of like why certain things come up in a certain year, it's all on the Town of Wolfeboro website. It's a great resource. The CIP committee puts a lot of time, and they rank these different projects to in importance to what they think is important. So if you want to learn more about that, but just some of the project summaries slated potentially for 2025 and the cost associated with them. I'm just going to go through a handful of them real quickly. The proposed, this is what department heads are asking for, what they see as a need, and then it goes to the CIP committee. But the total proposed is, $8.16 million. That's potential. Those are all potential projects in 2025. Library, parking lot improvements. There's some substandard issues in the library parking lot with drainage, I believe, and a couple other things. It's $160,000. Municipal Electric has Melody and Kenniston Island reconstruction. The power system out there. So Wolfeboro does have islands. So we have islands in Wolfeboro that are on the tax map. If you look at them, they're part of Wolfeboro. So Melody and Kenniston being two of them, and Wolfeboro Municipal Electric takes care of the not only the power on mainland but the power on the islands. And so you have aging infrastructure out there. That's a $525,000 project to reconstruct the power systems on Melody and Kenniston. Also for MED, Municipal Electric in 2025, the electric department is out on Middleton Road. I don't know if you've ever been out there, but it's on the right. It's the old Armory building. It's an amazing building. You ever get a chance to go up there? But the ceiling in the Armory is aging. I believe there's some issues with it, and that's a $100,000 project. There's a 2025 potential project for Parks and Rec for a community center, conceptual design and space needs. I believe they're still looking at the old Municipal Electric building, which is on Lander Street in Wolfeboro. That's conceptual design and needs. It got ranked lower in the report and for need or for what we're looking at for this year. Slew of a couple different vehicle replacements for public works, town road upgrades. We see that every year. South Main Street engineering, $300,000. River Street water main, $350,000. One of the big big elephants in the room is the second phase of you remember we just went through the water project that went from Pickering Corner, which is, where the Brewster Monument is, down through the bridge. That project wrapped up for the 2024 year. There will be some paving and some things going on in 2025 to wrap that portion of that project completely up. But there's a CIP project for the South Main Street sewer construction, which is $4.7 million. Pump station evaluations for $100,000. A pressure relief valve up at the water tower here at the high school for $100,000, and some water treatment plant upgrades for $100,000. So those are some of all the CIP things you may see coming down the pike here in the near future. Pretty soon here, January 15th, we have a January 15th at 5 p.m. There's 2 proposed bond issues for over $100,000, and those get publicly noticed. And so the Wolfeboro Board of Selectmen is required to hold a meeting at 5 p.m. on the January 15th to receive comments on the proposed 2025 bond issues over $100,000. Those 2 issues are a pump station, sewer pump station on Mill Street. It'll be paid for by the general fund and may be subject to loan forgiveness. The bond is currently estimated at $366,000. There's also for layout, construction, and design of Christopher Court and Jason's Way over existing private right-of-ways as a town road. So that's a private road asking to become a town road. So there's a proposed bond issue and meeting for that as well. So those are 2 notices that are going out. There's a zoning board meeting this week. Some different cases coming before the zoning board, and then I want to just briefly go over events coming up here in Wolfeboro. The new year has come and gone, but we still have a lot of different events. There's a Wolfeboro Progressive Ski Dinner. That's February 15th. Looking forward into February at Abenaki Ski Area. Winter Carnival in February the 21st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a Friday through a Sunday. Wolfeboro Parks and Rec is currently working on the schedule of events there. So some events still going on even in the winter months. Like I said, Abenaki is open. Ski area, the Pop Whalen's open, and bunch of different meetings starting the new year. Board of Selectmen will be meeting, and zoning board and planning board this week. So we'll have more good time to review all those meetings and come up with some great pithy content for the next show of the Wolfeboro Exchange. But just wanted to give you a heads up on the CIP and what that looked like going forward. And Happy New Year, and thank you for joining us. And remember, Wolfeboro Community TV needs your help and support. So think about sponsoring, a show. Think about sponsoring Wolfeboro Community TV because it provides this invaluable service to the citizens of Wolfeboro. Sometimes you can't get out to a meeting, but you really want to know what's going on. And these guys get out there and they cover this. They cover, as many meetings as I went to in the course of my 9 years. Like, what they do makes me literally sick. Like, they're able to go to all these meetings, download all this content, work it through, put it on TV, okay, for you guys to watch. They do amazing work, and they cover not only town events, but a lot of other events that are important to the community. And they're such a valuable resource. I can't speak highly enough about everything they do, and they put my show on, so that it's fantastic. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week on the Wolfeboro Exchange. Be kind.